Thank you very much, Presiding Officer, and can I thank Foysol Choudhury for bringing this important debate to the Chamber today. Can I also begin by offering my condolences to Awab Ishaq's family. They suffered an unimaginable tragedy in 2020. Awab was 2 years old and he died needlessly. His death was wholly preventable. He was a poor bairn, poorly served by public service, and that should be chilling to all of us in this chamber. The UNCRC Article 27 states, "I have the right to a proper house, food and clothing." Proper house doesn't mean any house. It means a house that gives you security, safety and does not damage your health. I'm heartened at the actions the Scottish Government has taken in housing during the pandemic and amidst a cost of living crisis. Measures like the rent freeze and moratorium on evictions were bold, right-based policies, and these ideals protecting people's right to housing should be the benchmark for future policy. We can build on that progress. My office has a vested interest in this, as our caseload was high, with serious concerns about the prevalent dismissive attitudes of many landlords, including social landlords, when it came to damp and mould. Awab's story should have set alarm bells ringing for landlords across the UK, but over the past year my office has received several reports of damp and mould and local authority housing from constituents, and sadly the blame game exists: excessive showering, drying clothes in the house, not ventilating the property. These are typical excuses given in a response, and we have to push further action on this. As reflected in today's motion, the dismissive culture has led to tenants being forced to adopt potentially harmful daily practices. Many will feel compelled to turn on heating to counter cold and damp, and many will feel conflicted because they are worried about rising bills. Some will feel pressure to open windows, increasing ventilation, but Scottish winters are unforgiving. In some cases, eventually the council agreed to remedial work, but unfortunately this often means just covering over the damp, not tackling the problem of the damp within the structural building. I've been helping a constituent forced out of their home due to flooding caused by empty voids in our council. Council is North Lanarkshire Council. It's a Labour administration supported by the Tories in the areas. The failure to secure voids against the winter has caused immeasurable damage, not just to the void properties, but to the neighbouring properties and council tenants. And I have one constituent who has been out of her home for 5 months awaiting remedial work caused by flooding because a void property was not protected from the winter. In this time, she is paying rent for a property she cannot live in, and this is an inequity that cannot be allowed to exist. I said at the outset, the right to secure, safe, warm housing is not about rhetoric. It's a fundamental human right, indeed a children's right. The abrogation of that right has become prevalent, and landlords must be held to account when that right is being impinged upon them. I wholly reject the notion that this is a lofty, idealistic want. With political will, it is eminently achievable. And I thank again Foysol Choudhury for raising the very, very sad case of Awab Ishaq and their family. And let's not his death be in vain when we're tackling this issue. Thank you, Presiding Officer.